Listen, man, we told y'all CJ was going to be this good. Selected second overall in this past year's draft, the Texans swiped up the special signal caller from Ohio State after the Panthers decided on Bryce Young. And it seems as though that decision has locked them in with a true franchise star. Combining pinpoint accuracy with veteran processing, Stoud is currently on pace for 5,000 yards and has lifted a meager Texans team to division contention and a potential spot in the playoffs. With shouts of MVP coming his way, I think it's time to show you what makes a real franchise QB. At the professional level, quarterbacks are judged first and foremost on their cerebral understanding of the game. The ability to go through progressions and anticipate a defense are of paramount importance, and Stoud has shown this in abundance already in just his first 10 starts. Against the Jags, the Texans are running a max protect play-action shot out of condensed green right, and Stoud shows us both quick eyes and anticipation. Performing the play-action, Stoud keeps his eyes up amongst the chaos, and reading Devin Lloyd dropping to cut off Nico Collins' dig route, he quickly gets his eyes to his second option, Robert Woods. With all the space on the boundary, CJ takes advantage by throwing this before Bobby Trees is even coming out of his cut, allowing the DB no time to react and creating a gain of 16. Here against the Cardinals, Stoud is going to go through his full set of progressions to find the open man. He first gets his eyes deep to read the safety, then to Schultz on the hitch, but two defenders are closing in. He quickly scans Tank on the wheel, but this is also out-leveraged, so goes to Nico Collins on the post, but that is also doubled. So he gets to his fourth man, Woods, firing quick to move the chains. Now that is elite processing. Starting in Tripp's bunch left, Stoud calls for Tank Dell to come in motion, showing a clear one-man defense. This is Todd Bowles though, so you know he's sending an extra man in pressure. Stoud starts the play by first looking in the direction of the wheel route coming from the motion, but Carlton Davis has it out-leveraged, and his tight end Schultz is completely smothered. So CJ quickly snaps his eyes left, and with the backer coming on the blitz, knows the slant is going to come open if his man can beat the physicality. He finally wins his battle, and Stoud is able to hit him in stride for the big pickup. Progressions are needed against smothering NFL defenses, but without the ability to anticipate and throw your receivers open, you're relegated to the long list of see-it-throw-it quarterbacks that enter the league every year. However, this has never been a problem for Stoud, and his reps in college have been replicated in the pros. Against the Colts, he's facing a long second down, and the horseshoes are going to drop into their beloved cover 3. Stoud reads it quickly, and knowing Nico Collins will have inside leverage on the post, Stoud throws this early and before the cut, throwing through the next window knowing he's going to come open. Shaq Leonard is left dancing on the spot as Stoud drills this over his head to number 12, who's been one of the young studs at wideout for this team. Narrowing the window on this one, we've moved down to the red zone against the Bucs, and the only way to win here is with good anticipation. The Bucs are dropping into a cover 4 to squeeze the space, but good anticipation beats a difficult defense to dice. Noah Brown will run a post to distract the safety. Schultz runs an out to stop the backer dropping too deep, and Stroud's favorite target, Tank Dell, will run a post to attack the small seam between the quarters. With the closed space of the red zone, you gotta throw this early, and Stoud again is zipping this before his boy is out of the cut, attacking the narrow window for the game-winning score. And good eyes here create a window for Stoud to throw to. Reading the zone, Stoud keeps his eyes left to hold Pete Werner, before quickly finding Nico Collins in the open middle zone, darting it between the collapsing backers to slice for the score. Defenses get a lot more complex than this though, and this is probably where I've been most impressed. Staying calm under complex roll coverages, picking the correct read, and firing fast to attack the holes. In just his first career start against the Ravens, Stoud shows great vision and eyes to create space. Mike McDonald's Ravens teams love to bluff, and the defense starts to shift downhill on the snap, faking man coverage, but dropping back into a cover 6. Stoud starts the play by first glancing in the direction of the skinny post coming from the slot, forcing the middle linebacker to track the route and stay central, and Kyle Hamilton, the safety, to stay lurking. This frees the isolated X-receiver on the deep hitch route, allowing Stoud to deliver a clean pass to his receiver, accurate and low for the completion. They're a yard short, but really impressive to drive and push the ball under backed-up conditions. It's the calmness with which he attacks these that impresses me. Dameon Pierce will motion out the backfield, and with the corner widening, he knows he's seeing zone, and ATL will drop 8. Reading Nathan Landman, the Mike, dropping and reading the number 3 receiver, Stroud identifies the Tampa shape and quickly works to his back, finding him on the quick in to move the chains. And here's more quick reading of zone drops. The Jaguars are going to play cover 3, but to stop that over route from the number 3, Oluokun has his eyes ready to take Schultz. Spotting this, Stroud quickly gets to Collins on the drag, hitting him in stride and space to attack the defense with pace. If you haven't yet had the chance to see our evaluation on CJ Stroud, I urge you to check out our Patreon and peep the piece on his college tape, because what he's doing now is only a continuation of that same brilliance. Now, due to injuries and ailments, the Texans have had a shuffling offensive line all season, leaving their prized new draft pick vulnerable to the dangers of pro football. Stroud, however, has been unbothered, displaying great poise and calmness amongst the chaos. Let's start with getting him on the move, because honestly, Stroud has really excelled there. Offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick has done a great job getting him on the move, booting him both left and right. Off the play action, CJ is going to boot left, and even with Brant Urban right in his grill making himself as big as a bear, Stroud stays poised and loops a nice touch ball to his safety blanket Schultz. And this one's just outrageous against the Falcons. Again, a hard play action to shift the defense and then boot Stroud away from it with a multi-layered read. Stroud's eyes are seriously impressive here, head up on the roll and reading high to low. Tank Dell and Robert Woods are both covered, so Stroud gets his eyes to his third option, throwing across his body with a beautiful touch pass to clear the incoming rush. And poise remains present no matter how close the rush gets. With an empty backfield, Baltimore's simulated pressure creates a protection problem, and Jadeveon Clowney gets himself a clean shot off the edge. Stroud shows strength, somehow spinning free from the sack and escaping left. And again, those impressive eyes come into play, keeping his eyes up to find Tank Dell to move the chains. When facing TJ Watt, it doesn't matter how many men you send his way, he's just gonna completely wreck a play. But Stroud has the feel and movement to turn a busted play into positive yards. He feels the rush with eyes up, escaping right when TJ bullies his way through the pocket, always keeping his head up and finding Nico Collins hustling hard to give him an option. And don't doubt his improvisation skills either, because even though Stroud is of the pocket passing archetype, he's capable of doing Mahomes-like bullshit such as this. The play action leaves a tight end on Trey Hendrickson, and that ain't gonna work, leaving Stroud under immediate duress. But he smartly works up into the pocket first, allowing his tight end and back to send Hendrickson round the edge. He starts to drift left, but with no options available and BJ Hill cutting off the edge, Stroud double backs on himself, but showing advanced levels of poise, remains with his eyes upfield. I thought this was going to Singletary underneath, but he's got the arm and balls to throw this deep, finding a wide open Noah Brown. Mahomes, is that you? Understanding coverages and how to attack them is no doubt a crucial part of the game, but no QB can be good without that natural arm talent. And Stroud's got plenty. He possesses the arm strength to hit any blade of grass on the field while showing beautiful touch to loop the ball into gaps in the defense. Against New Orleans here, Stroud shows us that zip. Collins' burst manages to create a yard of separation, and as he's streaking across the field, Stroud bullets a beautiful pass with perfect placement, high and ahead of his tall receiver, preventing ball hawk Marshawn Lattimore any sniff at playing the ball. Versus the Colts this time, Tank runs a perfect corner route to the right hash against the Colts zone, and Stroud unleashes a rocket of a throw that's perfectly placed into the hands of his receiver. Tank secures the catch and shakes off the safety before casually strolling his happy ass into the end zone for the easy score. Rolling right off the boot action, watch the velocity he throws this with. With the look this covered, most QBs are just gonna tuck this and run to the boundary. But Stroud spots a slither of space, firing this on a line to Dalton Schultz. And the great Levante David looks shocked he even attempted this throw. But it's not just missiles. Stroud also displays tremendous touch. Tank hits the corner with a nasty stutter step before dusting him down the right sideline, and CJ matches him, staying courageous as pressure approaches, hitting the defense with a strong pump fake before floating a perfect ball over the shoulder to Dell for 6. Magnificent. Going 5 wide here, Stroud has a plethora of options, and with a great read, can throw another beautiful touch pass. Seeing a Landon Roberts turn to carry the number 3 option Schultz, Stroud floats in a beauty, knowing the stutter will create separation and making sure to throw this early before either safety could close the window. And this might be the best of them all. With just 16 seconds left in the game, the Bucs are sitting deep, not giving away whether they're in cover 4 or cover 2. but he still manages to attack the backed off D with perfect placement of the ball. Watch as Stoud sits tall in the pocket, first looking down the middle of the field, holding the safeties in place as he awaits for his receiver to gain the necessary depth. Throwing with outrageous anticipation, CJ places this inch perfect over the corner, leaving him bamboozled that he would even attempt to hit this gap, and giving Tank Dell time to get both feet down. That's perfect timing and pristine ball placement while getting lit up, backed up by an incredible job from the rookie receiver to get both feet in. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this connection for a very long time. Now, as extremely impressive as the young man has been, there are still some noticeable issues that appear on tape. Firstly, Stoud is just the kind of guy that just really won't let the play die. This is often a problem for young QBs, as they're so used to dancing and finessing their way out of problems at the lower levels, but in the NFL, this just doesn't work. The speed of the game is exponentially faster, and gaps in plays close much quicker than most can anticipate. Stoud has shown great in-rhythm work and some fantastic off-the-cuff play, but there's been a sprinkling of some ugly throwaways and a couple of picks that should have just been grounded. The other problem here is that the hits do accumulate. Pro defenders will hunt you down, and the kid's gotta learn to slide rather than going head first on these rushing attempts. You won't survive very long trying to put your shoulder into NFL linebackers. CJ possesses an incredible arm and demonstrates great velocity on the majority of his throws, but he does have a tendency to place passes quite low. While some of this is in an attempt to protect his receivers, pressure has caused more ground balls than you want to see, and has led to too many missed opportunities. A lot of these come under pressure when Stoud is feeling the heat, but he's got to tighten up the mechanics in this situation or be ready for a flurry of blitzes. The Houston Texans may have lost their star quarterback many seasons ago to some, freaky circumstances, but it seems that they've been able to replace him with someone even better. Stoud's play has already placed him in the top tier of QBs that are going to win you games. And with fantastic progressions and ridiculous arm talent, he's ready to dominate the pros for the next decade. All they need to do is shore up that protection, and them boys in Houston gonna be something scary.